It's time for the friendliest segment in all of sports. Now, there's snow on the ground, and, well, where we are, bro, I have no idea what the weather is where
probably nice.
Nick is.
Closer to
Nick
this.
is stuck. Yeah. I'm sure it's terrible. Oh, no, it's actually perfect. Surprise, surprise. It's time for the inaugural edition of King of the Hill for the full NBA season. I'm excited.
So for Mahomes Mountain KW, which is a similar setup, we go 7 rows, 28 quarterbacks. This is probably enough with the butterflies, Rick. My God, this is what made us do the bad boy of sports
Right, are you
TV,
bringing that
was
back,
the
Lon?
Remember, I got the bad boy.
I thought it was fun for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, but then I got taken.
No, Danny took it. Danny took it.
He's not
So
even, he's a nerd
for
about
the
it.
inaugural
Sorry.
King of the Hill KW, we're going 8 rows, which is 36 guys.
Buckle up.
But even that is not enough.
Okay.
So before we get to the 36 guys, and I want your guys' reaction to this, first, toughest omissions. Guys that just missed the cut. Josh Giddey, Brandon Ingram, Stephon Castle, Aaron Gordon, your guy Dylan Brooks, KW, shout out to him. No, he wasn't going to be top 36 either. Franz Wagner, and shout out Cooper Flagg. Brew, those guys not making the cut, any issue significantly?
There's one guy on the list that I do not think should be on the top 36 that I think has to go.
Wow.
Ooh.
And so I'll share that.
Has to go.
Yeah. It'll be a bonus take.
Tease.
Yeah.
Here, I can't wait for the bonus take. All right, Hubs, go ahead and show the most disappointing guys to not make it. Paolo, not making it. My guy, Amin Thompson. KW's guy, LaMelo. I would have thought going into the year, Amin and Paolo definitely would have made the inaugural King of the Hill. I couldn't justify putting them on there. Any issues there? I know, obviously, Brew, you might think they deserve to be above, but so KW, your thoughts on your guy LaMelo not making it?
I don't have a huge issue with LaMelo not making it. Did the car accident affect my judgment on that?
I told you.
It shouldn't.
Another classic one by me. I showed you that video of him peeling out of the Hornets Stadium, and you didn't care. That was inevitable.
Swearing.
And then lastly and most
every post-game press conference, he's swearing. It's just.
But they're starting to win.
They're starting to win, but
he's a big key. I know they got Brandon Miller and Concanipple too, but I think look, the accident notwithstanding, I think Melo is turning a corner.
Oh?
I think he's turning a corner.
Okay.
Well, that's the problem. Not yielding. That's the
no
literal
pun,
problem,
no pun
bro.
intended. I think he's turning a corner.
And then again, it's 36 guys on the list, so we can basically call it a top 40 because these are the 5 guys who either haven't played this year or are out for the rest of the year, who I'm very confident would have been on the list. Tatum, Halliburton, AD, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie, obviously, but they're not eligible. So, with that table set, 8th row of the inaugural edition of King of the Hill. Jalen Duren, Scotty Barnes, J-Dub, maybe a little disappointing placement for J-Dub after an All-NBA appearance. Siakam, I don't know what, maybe I'm being unfair to Siakam. He's the best player on that team, but they're awful. I don't know what to do with him. Lauri Markkanen, Derek White, De'Aaron Fox, and Rudy Gobert in his customary spot. Again, it's not left to right, but he always makes the hill, and he seems to somehow be the guy bottom row furthest right. 7th row, KW's guy, not KD's guy, clearly. Well, KW's guy, but not KD's guy.
Just venting a little bit.
Alpern Sengun, Jalen Johnson. Shout out Austin Reeves. This might be his first time ever on King of the Hill, certainly regular season edition. Evan Mobley, Julius Randle, Chet's guy, maybe a little disappointing placement for him, I don't know. And then Bam, who we were just talking about earlier. Okay, now we get to the top 21 guys. So call it top 20 if you'd like. 6th row. What a row. Steph and Bron. Shout out to these two guys for still being top 20 players definitively, but their lowest placement for either one of them, I think, ever on any edition of King of the Hill. And shout out to James Harden for, at his age, also not only still being a top 20 player, but nothing tells you that we're right past Valentine's Day like James Harden playing his best basketball of the season. Karl-Anthony Towns, Jamal Murray, and Denny Avdia with his highest ever placement on the hill, maybe his first ever placement on the hill. Now we get to our top 15. Maybe a soon-to-be 5-time Olympic gold medalist Kevin Durant, Tyrese Maxey, who quietly has just been sensational, Devin Booker, Joel Embiid, who also quietly the last, month and a half, vintage Embiid, close to it, and then Kawhi Leonard, who, not so quietly, has been awesome. Ever since the Clippers, they spotted the league a 6-21 start. Since then, Kawhi's been on fire, as has the team. Now to the top 10, and all of these guys are MVP candidates. Well, all but one, I guess. Cade Cunningham, legit MVP candidate. Jaylen Brown, legit MVP candidate. Jalen Brunson, legit MVP candidate. And Donovan Mitchell, legit MVP candidate. The one guy who I said in the top 10 is not a legit MVP candidate is the first guy listed on row 3, and that's Giannis, because of games missed and, how well his team has done. He's playing some of the best ball of his life, but obviously he's not going to hit the games threshold. The team's not good, but I do think he's coming back soon, which is why he's not with the injured players off the hill. Wemby, Anthony Edwards round out row 3, and then we get to the top 3, and at least 2 of the top 3 are consensus. Shea is a consensus top 3 player. Luca, maybe not consensus top 3 anymore, but I do think there is consensus that the guy at the top is still the best player in the league. Shout out Nikola Jokic, who has owned King of the Hill the last few years. That Chris Broussard is the inaugural edition of the 2026 King of the Hill.
You want to start with the bonus? I'm interested in the bonus.
The bonus, I will start, Nick, with the bonus takes. Two bonus takes. Number 1, I'm going to move Jalen Duren up 1 level, 1 row. I put him ahead of Bam. I put him ahead of Bam. There's other guys I could probably put him ahead of, but I'll switch him and Bam out of Bayou. Duren, man, is tough. He is. You saw him dunk on Wemby last night. He's legit. So I'm moving him up. Second bonus take,
That's
the
fine.
guy that can't be on. I'm sorry, Joel Embiid.
Really? That was the bonus take?
He doesn't. He's played. Now, I
the
get it for him. It seems like he's played a lot because he's played 31 games. But now he's already out again with the knee and the shin. So who knows when we'll see him again. I just, at some point, availability has to be a fact. Nick, honestly, are you counting on him at all in the playoffs for Philadelphia? Because I agree, he is a phenomenal player still, but I have no confidence whatsoever that he's going to be able to play consistently for any significant period of time. So I just
think because of the approach this year, Brew, where he has missed a lot of time, they are being, extra cautious. Maybe that's the one thing they haven't tried, so they can get maybe Embiid. If it's like, hey, your 60th game of the year, not even that, your 50th game of the year is going to be your first playoff game. Maybe that's the path he has to take. He is still, though, after a slow opening month of the season, night to night, damn near back at 30 points a game. And he's just such a special offensive player, even if defensively is where the injuries have taken their biggest toll, where he's not the rim protector he once was, but he's such a special offensive player, bro. I'm shocked that's the guy you're saying has to be off. I didn't see that coming.
I just see him as a part-time player, at best. And I think even if what you're saying with their strategy, even if that's the case, that the team is going to be, there's not going to be any chemistry. You see they play differently when he's there. Maxey plays a little differently, which is understandable, but I just don't think they're going to have the chemistry to make any type of significant run. Maybe they could win a round, maybe, if it's a 4-5 matchup or something. But I just think he's a part-time player. I would take him off, and I would put, not at that level, But the guy I'd probably put on, I think, is Cooper Flagg. Cooper, I know it's the last 8 games, 28 points, 8 boards. Now, they're not winning. They're like 1-7 in those games. But young guys, I don't expect them to win.
Okay.
Right? And so 28 and 8 over the last.
That's almost like a third bonus take, the Cooper Flagg one.
Well, it's related. So here's the. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Let me respond to the Flagg before you give your real take. KW, I want your take on this. And so maybe it was a bit of a cop-out by me. Because I thought about putting Cooper Flagg on. But I'm not certain that I think, even if I think he is going to be better long-term, I'm not certain I think Cooper Flagg is having a better year than Knipple. And I'm not just doing the 2 white guys thing, but the 2 leading Rookie of the Year candidates. Yeah. Knipple has similar numbers and it is contributing at least to some winning. Now that team is better. So I thought Knipple had almost as strong of a case as Flagg.
That's fair.
No, look, Knipple's playing great. I would go with Flagg. I think he's a better, certainly overall player, but Knipple's in the hunt for, they're going to be 1-2. I think it'll be Flagg and Knipple. But my full take.
We're out of the bonus round.
Okay.
Is, and look, and let me preface it with this.
Hold on.
I am not trying to carve out space as like the anti-Luka guy. All right? Because I like Luka.
You call him Luka Legend.
Right. I nicknamed him Luka Legend. I think I was the first to say he's Luka Legend. I thought he was going to be Larry Bird 2.0, all that. He is a phenomenal player.
First one to make that comp.
Yes, absolutely.
But you can't win with him.
No, you can win to a certain level.
Oh, yeah,
I just think he has to adjust a little bit his style of play.
No, you're not anti-Luka, but earlier in the show, and you did not say it, but you did mention.
I think it's on the board.
It's on the board.
On the board that he never wins.
Never wins. But you're not anti-Luka.
A championship. No. Charles Barkley never won a championship. Patrick Ewing never won a championship. And many other great ones. All right, but anyway, here we go. Nick, I'm switching Wemby and Luca. And Giannis, I keep where he's at because, again, this year's been injury ravaged. So I'm switching Wemby and Luca. Wemby is just better.
Well, yeah.
He's better now. Like, we know defense, we don't even have to discuss. But he actually, Nick, is shooting slightly better from 3-point range than Luka. It's very close.
It counts, though.
He's shooting better from the free throw line than Luka. And because he is able to fit into a system, obviously, better than Luka, which allows his teammates to shine as well. And so, yeah, I think Wemby, I mean, look, we're talking about this ultra young team, aside from him, going to the finals. And that's because of his impact on both sides of the floor. So I would switch Wemby and Luka.
I obviously don't think that's outrageous. I think it is, there is a really strong argument that Wemby, depending on what you do with Giannis, you can argue Wemby's 3rd best player in the league. That if it's Joker, Shea, Wemby, you can argue that. So I get that. And this is, KW won't like this, I don't think. I have a hard time putting anyone in that rarefied of air before I've seen them one time in the playoffs, before I've seen him one time play a full season, before I've seen him those things, and now part of that's not his fault, it's bad luck, it is what it is, but I don't want to say it feels premature because I watch the games and some nights you're like, maybe he is as good as Joker, maybe he's already the best player in the league, but it feels like a title that everyone else that has had it has at least had a playoff run, even if it was a bad one, just some experience earlier. So that would be my pushback there. But I get it. Like, Wemby's been unreal.
You guys, maybe I'll become the Luka guy.
I love Luka. Nick. Although I will say this, I have not heard Nick describe him as my adult Slovenian son in a while.
Nick is not.
In a while.
The way that Nick defends Patrick Mahomes, we show a graphic. Every number is down. Wins 6 games all year. Still obviously the best. poor Luca's in 5th place, and the guy has no defense for him. It's just, he might not be able to hear me either. It's just open season.
He definitely did not
No,
hear
he
you.
can't. This is great. This is great. So I'll just tell Nick that I want to move Sengun up maybe 1 row and switch him with.
I'm not mad at that. I
Just
thought
switch him with
Sengun
Denny.
was a tad.
I would like to have him just optically on the same line with Steph and LeBron. Here was his play last night, just to whet your appetite of what Sengun is up to. Not only just like classic big man rebounding, but also like setting up Durant, little give and go. Mr. Consistency when I've been on Sengun. He's just been good. Fits, obviously Durant fits with the Rockets, so he's got 1 more point. His rebounds went down, assists went up, field goal percentage exactly the same. He's great on offensive rebounds, 20 points and 3 offensive rebounds this year. The only 2 guys that are doing that are Sengun, Joker, and Cat is doing it as well. And then finally, we look at guys who lead their teams, playoff teams, because you can, like Nick Claxton does it, Draymond, Derek Queen, of leading your teams in rebounds and assists. It's Joker and Sengun, just for playoff teams. If the Magic sneak in, Boncaro is also on the list. Jalen Johnson's on the list. So I would like to move Sengun up just 1 row. I'm not asking for too much. Just flip him with Denny, just because they're playing so well.
So here would be my question, I guess, to both of you. And listen, the Van Vliet injury is brutal, but we knew that going into the year. The Steven Adams injury happened during the year. But I look at the Rockets and I say, I think Durant is playing on the court as well as they could have possibly hoped for. And I think they have been slightly disappointing. Like, I don't view them as a tier 1 and maybe not quite a tier 2 contender like I thought I was going to. How much of that falls on Sengun? Like, how much of that falls on Sengun not
Very
taking
little.
a leap? For it?
He has to play the point. He leads the team in assists. It's not his fault the team didn't sign a true point guard. That was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So I understand, and is arguing he should be on row 6, is I think totally reasonable. I guess I thought the Rockets, Brew, if you remember, I said I thought I might end up picking the Rockets to win the championship. And so maybe it's kind of the reverse Jaylen Brown situation. I had such low expectations for the Celtics. I am just wowed by what he's done. Maybe I had too high of expectations for the Rockets that I'm, maybe too far down on Sengun. So you make fair points, KW.
Yeah, I don't put it on Sengun. I'm with KW on this one. I would move Sengun up. I put a little of it, not that I'm moving him down, but I put a little more on Durant.
Oh, really?
I mean, he's the veteran, supposed to go in there. I know he hasn't been a leader necessarily throughout his career, but I want him as the veteran to come in and give that guidance and leadership that can take this team to the next level. He's a bucket, but that's pretty much what he is, a bucket.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.